There we go.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, guys. Hold on. Hardly see us otherwise.
There we go.
There we go. So, we're here with another interview series. Of course, I got Pastor Steve here, which is my pastor.
How's it going?
And, of course, if you want to go check out his YouTube channel, it is Bridgeview Church. Find it pretty easily that way. I'll put a link after this video is up and live. And to start this series off, this interview off, does the Ark of the Covenant still hold God's presence, and what would happen if it was open when it still held God's presence?
Okay, well, no, the Ark of the Covenant does not still hold God's presence because, as the Bible teaches us in the Old Testament, God's presence resided in that. But as people who are after Jesus came and gave his life for us on the cross, the Bible teaches us that God's presence no longer resides in a building or in a spot, but it resides in the hearts of people that believe in him. So God's presence isn't in a box someplace. God's presence is in the hearts of people that believe in him and trust him as their Savior.
Right. And the second question, does a place where Jesus was crucified hold more of a direct communication to God than anywhere else?
No. There's no place on earth that has a bigger level or something greater that holds God's presence than in people's lives and people's hearts. And so the place that you don't need to go to a place in order to hear from God or speak to God more than any place else. Sometimes those things have significance to us because we're reminded what God did for us in certain places, but there's no more presence of God there than there is in any place else on the earth.
So the next two questions, guys, will be kind of in the same aspect, just a tiny bit different. Alright, so the third question, would the cup from the Last Supper provide any special properties if drank from today?
Nope. No, there's no special properties in anything like that. There's nothing that would happen that would you drink from that. It would give you some powers or something. No, the only thing that gives you power is when you give your life to Jesus, and when you come to him, and the more that you walk in obedience to him, and the more that you give your life over to him, the more you understand who he is and understand the power he's given you, and that's what the power is when you give your heart and your life to Jesus Christ.
Right. And does prayer at the wall in Jerusalem give more of a direct communication with God than anywhere else?
No. Again, sometimes there's places on earth where people like equate that to something, and they feel really like there's a big connection to that, and really boost their faith. But there's no place that where God blesses that place more than some other place. God blesses people who walk in obedience to him and who give him their lives. And so back many years ago, God was in certain places in the Old Testament. But now, as people who are in the New Testament, or the new, after Jesus died, there's no place like that has a special power.
Of course, I accidentally called it the wall in Jerusalem because I could not remember the name of it.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
What is the name of it again?
The Wailing Wall.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
I just could not figure out the name. I was kind of having a total brain fart at that moment, just trying to think of it, but could not figure out the name. And the final question, this is for you guys that have struggled with suicidal thoughts or bullying, or thought that suicide is the only way to go. And I can tell you it is not. And to further do that, I will ask you the fifth and final question.
Okay.
What would you say to someone on the edge of suicide to help them off that proverbial ledge?
That there's a lot more to live for than what you see right now. Everybody goes through times and seasons in life where it's harder, and sometimes where it's better, right? You know how that works. There's times when it really seems dark and difficult, and then there's other times where things seems to get better, and that will always be the case. It will always happen where things are going to get better. So if you're in a spot where there's no hope, there is hope. So if I was going to tell a person like that, I would say, tomorrow could get better, and you don't know that. But what you do know is that if you ended your life right today, that would be it, and there wouldn't be anything else. And so I would encourage them to think differently about doing that, and that and that God has a plan for their life. And sometimes God's plan seems to be difficult because we don't understand it. But I find a lot of times that the more that I obey Jesus and do what He's called me to do, and try to put away that sinful desire that I might have, I try to follow Him and do what He's called me to do. I hear His voice, and I hear what He wants me to, the direction He wants me to go in, and life gets a whole lot better. And so I would tell a person that there's a lot better. It's I had that when I was a kid. I was really depressed and really angry and really upset about some things, and I had even thought at times like, well, maybe I just end it all, and I'm pretty glad I didn't. My life's pretty great because God does some good things. So there's always hope.
Like, yeah, you just the thing about bullies, ladies and gentlemen, is they seem like they're unconquerable, I could say, or you're not going to be able to fight against them, or there's no way to get away from them bullying you. That is not the case. At some points, there are times when a bully is bullying you where, even though you may seem like a bully yourself by doing this, you could possibly belittle them. That will take the person that is, per se, the leader of the bullies and bring them down to your level. So it seems like, they're not as tough or as,
That's scary.
Yeah, as scary as you might think. And maybe they'll come back later on and say, I'm sorry, I did not mean to do that. And I don't know what my mindset was. And maybe you'll become friends. Who knows? You never know if a bully could maybe become a friend in the future.
That's true.
You never know until you take that first step to stand up for yourself.
That's
and
right.
Just find a way to get the bully to stop.
Right.
And you never know, because in their mind, in the bully's mind, they might be doing this because of their problems on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say that bully is a bully because he goes home and gets talked down to by his dad or mom, or a relative, or gets abused at home. Anything on those lines could be a possibility for a bully to become a bully. So you never know. But you always should watch what you say, because when it comes to bullies, when it comes to stopping a bully from doing what he's doing or she's doing, you gotta watch out, because sometimes if you take them down to your level, they might have those suicidal thoughts. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to those people, because then in a sense you're responsible for it. So, but yeah, that has been our review series for today, and I hope you guys like it. I hope that you guys watch more of these. There's of course only one more on the channel right now, kind of in a game series, but yeah, this is the first real life interview I've done since the series has started. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take some of this and take it in, and think about it. Think about these things, and remember, because never know what's next. But as always, remember, stay safe, stay dangerous. I love you guys. Later.
Bye-bye.